Cyprus football, the passion, the thrill. The passion, the thrill. The stadiums roar, you can feel the chill. You can feel the chill. The teams are ready, the battles will start. The battles will start with dreams of glory, they'll play with heart.
Yes, yes, yes. We're back. And I'm mentally drained. Thasso is probably just as mentally drained, but we're here just for you. Just for you. Thasso, how you doing, guy?
I'll be okay.
Why you cry?
You know, Aston Villa losing 3-1 to PSG in Paris, and really should have lost like 6 and 7-0, something like that. It was absolutely horrible watching that game. So yeah,
it's still a second leg, man.
Yeah, but man, oof, that was heavy. It was heavy watching. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. Anyway, how are you doing? Other than obviously being tremendously tired.
Apart from that, I'm good.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I'm good.
Woo.
I've got my jug of green tea tonight. I'm not going with the caffeine. No.
Cheers.
Delicioso. Beautiful. Who's watching live at the moment? Who is joining us? StreamYard says here that there's a referral link. New to streaming or looking to level up, check out our StreamYard and get 10% discount. If I put it there, what happens? Oh, it comes up here. Look. If you want to sign up to StreamYard, you get a $10 discount.
All right.
Woo. Okay.
Yes.
There you go. If anyone wants to do podcasts on StreamYard, there you go. I just noticed it now. Share your referral link. Okay. Shared it. What now? Then what?
Don't know. Guess.
And then?
Yeah, then? Don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Yes. Yeah. Flipping out. Right, Thasso, we have got quite a bit to go through today.
Correct.
Quite a bit to go through.
Correct.
So, by the way, do you like the title? Because you sent me a title, and I went with a slightly different one. I went with Mushroom Ganada.
Yeah, I don't.
Mascanada?
Huh?
Mascanada?
Ah, very good. Very good. Very good.
Mascanada. See? Mushroom Ganada. Anyway, let's start with what we're doing every season at this point. It is the Group B party.
Start the first fight. Who will fall? Who will rise? Will there be fans in the stadium? Which just echoes in the night. How many bad weather for raining decisions will turn cheers into cries? It's a Group B party. Only the strong survive.
Well. The AEL survival kit. The AEL survival kit. They might do it again, Thasso. They beat Baralimni by 2-0. And it was the goalkeeper, Adebayo, that appeared to be the hero at the start by saving Trzaskowski's penalty. But then Trzaskowski made amends by giving AEL the lead. But then the most comedic of own goals you'll see this season by the goalkeeper. The header hits the post. It comes off his head and goes in the back of the net. It's a victory for AEL.
Yeah.
You shouldn't laugh.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. But also, yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So Baralimni doing a lot of good work that they had done over, the first, what's that, 2 games?
Yeah.
Group B. Yeah. Adebayo was the only one who pretty much showed up to do anything for Baralimni, really. It was just attack after attack after attack for AEL. I actually took until the 76th minute, I think, for Baralimni to register a shot at goal.
That's right.
On target. So, it was, AEL could have won this 4 or 5-0, to tell you the truth, if it wasn't for Adebayo. 8 points clear for AEL. 12 to play for. You'd think they'd be safe now.
Yeah,
but
one more win. I think they're safe.
Yeah.
I think one more win.
Yep.
One more. So let's see. Let's see. And it's been a pretty decent week for them as well. If you want to talk about what could be around the corner.
Correct. So, our press representative, and this is Mappa legend, Nicolas Leventis, revealed some information regarding a potential investor at IL. But when he got asked about it, he called the person a blood donor.
Yeah.
Yeah, a blood donor, life giver, not
Yeah. He's
like,
saving them.
yeah. So this is what he said. So we are very close to an agreement. IL may become a company in which the investor and the union are shareholders. We will see. There are various things on the table. When we are ready, we will say everything in front of the members. The ones who will decide are the members of the union. Now, I don't know how you found this out, but you then posted about it on Twitter afterwards, saying that the person who's rumored to be this life giver, this blood donor for IL, is someone called Chris Panayiotou, as chief executive of a Limassol-based IT consulting firm, and he's got also a pretty big share in Sigma, the media
The
company.
media. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I only went by what the websites have been reporting, and they allege that it's this gentleman. And even Levendi was asked if it's him. He says, I'm not gonna mention who it is anyway."
Yeah, because
So
non-disclosure agreements.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. So look, it's certainly an interesting time. If you have a media guy taking over IL, it tells me that straight away they're gonna obviously have that cash injection, but they're gonna do things very different to what they're doing now, especially commercially. Now, also, apparently they've got plans to build a €4 million training center in Golossi.
I saw that as well. Yeah. Now, fine, but where's that money coming from, or is that something that Chris Panayiotou is involved with?
Allegedly,
Yeah.
possibly, because when these investors come in or they start talking to clubs, they usually say to them, "Look, we want to know your finances. We want to know where you stand with your stadium, all that kind of stuff." And then they propose to the board or the selling members what they want to do.
Yeah.
Now, more recently, a lot of Cypriot clubs have been telling potential investors, if you're going to take over the club and stay here for, say, 5, 6, 10 years or whatever, we will only sign the club over to you if obviously you can prove that you've got the finances, but also if you decide to sell, you're not going to leave the club in the red. So, I don't know.
Yeah, but if you put too many conditions on a sale, sometimes the buyer might just go, you know what? Nah. But we'll get there. We'll get to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's something else that IL did, which was actually quite funny.
Oh, yes. So IL decided to jump on a new AI bandwagon. So last week we had Studio Ghibli kind of imaging. This week it seems to be creating these
Action
figure images with their accessories. Now, you put the whole thing through AI, and I have decided to do one for Rafael Mamas. So I don't know if you can put it on screen, but yeah, we'll basically explain. So Rafael Mamas is wearing the Rafael Mamas action figure is wearing the IL kit, the yellow one, and he's got a bunch of accessories that come with it. So he's got a football, he's got football boots, and he's also been given a meat cleaver and a yellow card. Now, I thought this was freaking hilarious because Rafael Mamas has 10 yellow cards and 2 dismissals for second bookable offences in 26 games. So
Amazing.
They proper bodied him. They bodied their own player.
Yeah. And do you know what's even funnier? They've got the meat cleaver.
Yeah.
Look at the top right-hand corner. It's
4
a 4
plus.
plus.
Oh, amazing. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Chopper.
Very impressive. Very impressive, I must admit. Very impressive. Any other news?
So, from AL, not from me.
Okay, cool. Well, let's move on because there's nothing from Baralimni.
Nope.
Let's go. Let's go. On to the next. And my goodness, what a game this was. Salamina beating Omonoia by 2 goals to 0. Vellos giving them the lead, but then a crunching tackle right there. Crunching, that's nasty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Christodoulou.
Mm.
Ouch. Ouch.
Georgie.
Yep. Saw red. And then Magriz actually got sent off. Dimitris Magriz. But then Durmishai got sent off for applauding sarcastically the referee, and then he absolutely lost his shit.
Yep.
But in added time, they wrapped it up with Bahasa, who has been a fantastic signing for them, I believe. Anyway, he seems to be pulling them through games lately. 2-0 for Salamina. What a huge result that is.
Yep. Fantastic result as well. On top of that, we had Papa Yorio came off the bench for Salamina and hit the crossbar as well. Omonoia Radipo, I mean, they had the sending off after 24 minutes. But once they had the sending off for long periods of the game, they were the ones who were more likely to score the next goal. And I mean, until the 93rd minute, that's when it all exploded in injury time. 93rd minute, Baba Yorio hits the crossbar. 95th minute, Durmishai gets sent off. And 97th minute, Bahasa scores the second goal. It was a very entertaining few minutes there, right at the end.
And now Omonoia Aradipo have been sucked in.
Yes.
They've been sucked in.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
The
Now
quagmire.
Salamina. Oh, okay. Now Salamina have been now I think 4 points away from the drop. So we've gone from them like almost relegated to seeing like some light at the end of the tunnel. So.
Yep. Well, we'll show the league table in just a bit. A bit. Because it's going to be very, very interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, next game. Is there anything else? Nothing? No announcements, no statements, no. Okay, let's go. All right, next game. And Ethnigo ended their dry run with a 3-1 victory over Omonoia Nadi Ismail. 2 goals from Deriondo. Impressive stuff right there. After Bonetto gave them the lead. A goal from Fiaga at the end. I don't know what the goalkeeper was doing there. I really don't know. But hey, listen, it's a win for Achna, a win that they needed. And yeah, one-way traffic, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Achna, well, they scored the first goal and then kind of sat back and just let Omonoia Too Furious come at them. And they were just passing it sideways. There wasn't anything probing, trying to attack that Achna defense to get at least an equalizer. And then the second goal, and a lot of Achna's attacks were counter-attacking, fast-paced counter-attacking, completely knocked the wind out of Omonoia Too Furious's defense. And yeah, Deriondo gets 2 goals. He has never done that before. He has not scored 2 goals in one game before. So, and he's been a professional for 10 years.
Doesn't he look like Diego Forlan?
He does, doesn't he? Oh, thank you. Finally, I keep looking at him, going like,
I know you from somewhere.
Yeah. So he's a Diego Forlan regen, but plays a defensive midfield.
Yeah.
Nice.
Probably the same goal scoring record as well. Well, anyway. But yeah. Sorry.
Now,
yes.
Now, obviously, Omonoia to Furious to lose 3-1, which means extra!
Sorry. I'm not with it today. I'm really not with it today. My bad.
Yeah. So there it is. Omonoia to Furious have now been officially confirmed as relegated. Yes. Sorry, I know I'm not celebrating. I'm just saying yes, as in confirming what I'd already said.
Do you know, I don't think their fans are bothered.
No, they're not.
Their fans are bothered.
No, they're not.
I think they prefer to be in the second division. Then they could go to games.
Yeah, they could go to the Dimitris Hamatsos and to just have a good time.
Yeah.
Like what they were doing previously. Now, I decided to have a look as well because I remember you mentioning a couple of weeks back, like how bad are these guys? So I went through. I went through and I had a look.
Unnecessary research.
Well, no, it's
completely unnecessary.
It's very necessary because I want to show how bad this team has been in the league, right? Because they've been terrible. Now, the way the league works with the playoff system hasn't always been like this. So, because a few of the seasons, the bottom two teams in the normal league phase just got automatically relegated. They didn't go through a playoff system. So I haven't included teams like Atromitos or AEK in the 2008-9 season, who only managed 1 and 15 points respectively. So Omonoia 2 Furious are currently on, 14 or 17 points?
I don't know.
I think it's. I've done a really bad job in my notes. I put both.
Okay.
But anyway, which means they aren't the worst team for that either. The worst team that was in this playoff system, the worst team, falls to Ermisa Radipo in 2018-19, where they finished with 13 points.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Now, you also had Baik from the 21-22 season, who had 17 points.
And they beat Omonoia that season as well.
And then you had AES last season, who had 18 points. So they there's still scope there.
Still, yeah.
So before 2007 and 8, there weren't any playoffs. It was just a straight league season. But in the 2001-2002 season, Hermes finished bottom with 1 point from 26 games.
Wow.
They got one draw.
That is impressive. That is impressive.
That is impressive. Beautiful.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Nice. Good stats.
Yes.
Good stats.
Good stats.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Right. Let's go on to, I think, is the final game in Group B.
Right.
I think it's the final game. And so, Garmi Odessa were knocking at the door. Knock, 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 knock. Huff, puff. Blow your door down. You know, that story with the three little pigs. And this time, it was the little piggies that ended up winning because Anorthosi held on and they held on and they held on. And then Gyushko, with 4 minutes to go, decided to say, I'm going to start playing now. And yeah, one-way traffic, smash and grab, call it what you want. It's a win for Anorthosi. What a great finish this is as well. Look at this. What? See ya. Sent him to the fucking Bakalli.
Yeah.
So there you go. Great goal, great finish. Garmi Odessa will be pissed, won't they?
Yes. They hit the post twice as well. And the 17-year-old goalkeeper on Arthos' side, I think he had a pretty good debut as well. Yeah. You know, he keeps a clean sheet. Yeah. Completely undeserved for Anorthosi. Yeah, like you said, one shot in the 86th minute or whatever it was, and Gyushko backs it. It was a very entertaining game. very ping-pongy in that Anorthosis box. There was a lot of business going on.
There's literally getting everyone behind the ball, blocking everything off front. But this is the commitment that Camoranesi's brought in. That's what he's instilled in these players. I mean, George put this comment here. Anorthosis should get a shield for topping the relegation group. Even more, we should get a place in Europe. Well, you do better than Omonoia, so you'll be all right in that respect. You do better than us. Fucking hell.
No comment.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. Whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, what about the home team? The team in orange.
Oh, the team in orange.
Is there anything we want to talk about?
So, there are a couple of things. There are a couple of things. Yeah. Yeah.
You want me to roll it?
Might as well roll it.
Well, do you want to tell them what it is first?
Yeah. So, what's going on, right, is obviously Johnny Violins has gone a bit quiet on us. But what we're seeing every week...
He's learning a new instrument.
Yes, exactly. And so are we. Because there's still a massive loudmouth at Gargodissa. And that is their president. So we've got a new segment. So instead of Johnny Violins, we've got the Stavros Demostenou show.
Let's go!
Just a president, batshit insanity to go. He went on Super Sport FM again. It's the Stavros Demostenou show.
I mean, that is great. That song is great. I could just imagine walking past Rumours nightclub or walking into basement and hearing just that techno.
So the prompt I put for AI was do it so it's like a TV show theme tune. And that's what came out, and I was like, yep, there you go. Do not need any more. And and I have to tell people, all the video imaging in that, for people who are watching, that all that stuff is from November 24 onwards.
It's recent. It's recent.
He's slapping a couple of kids on the back of the head. He's driving the little medical.
Yeah. He's singing karaoke.
He's singing his karaoke.
In his office, he's got fucking the 300 in the background.
Yeah.
This is Sparta!
The tree planting, all of it all of it is from the last 6 months. It's amazing. Unbelievable. So anyway, the reason why we've got this segment. So again, this is a person who's wanted to run to be president of the Cyprus FA, and people are supporting him to run for the Cyprus FA. So there's two things that he spoke about this week. So firstly, he had something to say about VAR, and in particular, good morning to all circles that believe this club may fail. No matter how much you VAR, we will be there, first in line, and we will face the rotten system. Have a good week. Now, that one,
amazing.
Again, he wants to be president of the Cyprus FA. Next one. This one involves quite a few teams altogether as well. But in essence, what the discussion is going on at the moment is some teams and some people in the Cyprus FA want to change the rules for the two Cypriots to be included in the first 11 to be not an encouragement, but to force teams to do it. So in essence, not a fine anymore to not do it, but something else. I don't know. Right. I don't know I don't know what that means necessarily, and there's a lot of people discussing the fact. Now, Demosthenes was on Supersport FM, as the jingle says, and he's always on Supersport FM every time he says something fucking batshit insane. So he was questioned about this rule, and his response to the question, I'm kind of narrowing it down a bit because he spoke for like 10 minutes on the subject. But basically, it was, I would love to field a full team of Cypriot players, but they are lazy. Cypriots show up to training for an hour and a half a day, then leave and do whatever else they do with their lives. They have no commitment to do anything. And then after that, he says, why would the Cyprus FA block me from picking who I want? It's my money. It's my club. I should be able to play whoever I want. Yes, sir. Yes. Question from the back.
Is this the same coach that wanted other coaches to play his twin sons?
Yes, that is the same person that did exactly that. Yes, correct.
Yeah. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. So
Did I say
you go.
Coach or president? Say coach.
I thought you said bloke.
Same bloke. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry,
okay.
Yeah.
Bloke. Sorry.
Yeah. So there you go. Mr. Crazy Man. I think he's going to have a lot more to say before the season is finished, especially since he's also going around every week saying that when I'm in charge, Garmiodisa aren't going down. You know, like a certain somebody from last season. Yeah. I go down when I say I go down. Yeah, all right, my friend. Sure. Yes. So there you go. That's our new segment.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, anyway, let's play it one more time.
Is a president, batshit insanity to go. He went on Supersport FM again. It's the Stavros Demosthenes show.
Tapizzi.
I just saw it. He's got Karaiskagi.
Yeah. Amazing.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Mario's just summed it up here. You need the madman to rule the madness, or you could just say the blind leading the blind.
Correct.
Yeah. And Andy, crazy with the tight pants. Yeah, tight white pants. Yeah.
Also, that Gomboloi, that Gomboloi is special. Did you see how he picked the baubles?
Yeah. Incredible.
Oh, amazing
stuff. Anyway, so I think the table is about to appear. There we go. That's all.
There it is. Yes. So Anorthos is top of the pile, although it's the second pile, with 46 points, safe as houses. Then you've got AL in second with 33 points, and Achna in third with 33 points. You've got Gargodisa in fourth with 28 points, Omonoia Radipo in fifth with 26 points. Paralimni in sixth with 25 points, Nea Salamina in seventh with 22 points, and two Furious, officially relegated in last place with 14 points.
Do you know what I find kind of amusing?
Go on.
Look at the goal difference. Anorthosi, 6, and the rest minus.
Yep, pretty much. But yeah, you know,
which is quite ironic because Anorthos's bank balance is minus.
But yeah, Omonoia Radipo, you know, they conceded, what was it, 5 or 7 against Apoel? This Apoel as well, this season Apoel. So, you know, yeah.
Anyway. Right, let's move on to Group A.
Yes.
And AEK were held at Apollon, one apiece. Enzo Cabrera did not have the best of days, even though he scored. But look at this challenge from Guida. Look at that. Last ditch. Great challenge. But then Apollon were no, wait. There's another chance here. There's another chance. Got to put that away, son. But then Apollon were awarded a penalty. Malekidi was brought down and he celebrated knowing that Dora Garay was going to step up and put it in the back of the net, which is what he did. But AEK were not going to give up. Not at all. And Enzo Cabrera equalized with a pretty impressive finish. Look at that. Keeper saved it, but then he's on the ground and he's headed it in. That is South American striker personified there.
Yeah.
And they had a few chances near the end to win it. But unfortunately for them, look at this. And again, I think the goalkeeper got a touch on that. But yeah, one apiece.
Yeah.
Not the result either team wanted. But at the end of the day, tough shit.
Yeah, pretty much. Tough shit for both of them. Again, there's one club who was complaining about the refereeing performance. And it's the one who never complains about refereeing performances. You know what? We need another theme tune, I think, for this, because this seems to be happening every week. After Kyriakos Dimitriou said, we don't complain about the referees. He's again complained about the referees. Yep. So for the penalty, in particular, so we found ourselves chasing the score with a penalty that only the referee saw. There was nothing, and the VAR manager was in another stadium. So not happy. So the Apollon press representative then had to jump into the conversation as well. And Fanorios Konstantinos stated, the frequency with which these complaints are expressed reflects the weakness that has existed over time in Cypriot refereeing. AEK has the right to express its complaints. However, for us, the penalty is crystal clear, and we do not consider AEK's complaints justified. And I completely agree with him, because I've watched that. I've watched that happen 4 or 5 times, and Malekidis gets brought down rather cynically as well. Like the
stone wall. I don't understand what the problem is.
Yeah, neither do I. I don't understand what the problem is. Again, Kyriakos Dimitriou was complaining about a decision. It's a fairly straightforward decision as well. Like, you know, the offside that he had on his phone and was like, "What's this?"
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Can you imagine, like, he'll go to the Bacalli and he'll be looking for fruit, and he says, "Where's the portocaglia?" And he's like, "Over there." No, they're not oranges. No, they are. No, they're not. They are. And he'll be arguing with the Bacalli that they're not oranges. Or like he's home and I don't know, he sees his front door and he goes, "1 minute, this used to be red." And his wife is like, "No, it is red. No, it used to be red. No, but it is red. No, it used to be red. It is red."
Yeah.
Start an argument in an empty room, bro.
Yep. I think Kyriakos Dimitriou needs to have a rest. I think he can't deal with how the season's going. He just needs to calm himself down. Go on a holiday this summer, relax.
What's his surname again?
Sorry?
What's his surname again?
Dimitriou.
Do you know what? It's a running theme with that surname this week, isn't it?
Why? Who else? Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that. Yeah, we've got that to talk about as well. Bloody hell, the press representatives in Kipro this week have been. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah. It's like their time of the month. Honestly, all of them. It's rag week for all of them.
They're sinking
Fucking hell, bro.
Right.
Honestly. Anyway, next game.
Next game.
Well, it's a great segue, I guess, isn't it? Because the next game was Omonoia, who beat Ari by 2-1. Willy Semedo giving Omonoia the lead before Mayambella equalized with what you like to call a trademark Mayambella goal. Top bins, bosh, left foot.
Bam.
But early stages of the second half, Loisel broke through, beat Van Alves to make it 2-1. And then Gogorin had his penalty save from Fabiano. And Fabiano made a few great saves after that as well to keep Omonoia in this one. 2-1. That was the reaction that the club promised after the Apollon game.
Yep.
But let's get it right. Let's get it right. We're talking about an Ari that is all over the place at the moment, and we're going to go into that in just a bit. But what are your thoughts on the game as a whole, mate?
Well, I was watching another game until the second half. But as soon as I tuned in into the second half, Loizo scores the goal. It was literally from kickoff, wasn't it? The 2-1.
Yeah. The ball's gone to Koulibaly. He's headed it like 30 yards.
Yeah.
Strutsky's misjudged the bounce. Jovetic has taken the ball. When everyone is running towards Jovetic, and Loiz is like, hi.
Yeah, but
Hi.
his finish as well, he did the exact opposite of what you'd expect him to do, because he normally cuts back onto his left. Yeah, but instead he cut back onto his right and finished it, which I think you see, like Steve Yago. Is it Steve Yago who's defending against him? He left him for dead. It was gone, completely gone. The other thing as well is Omonoia had the ball in the net as well a third time, but it was called back for a foul on Bana Alves. Now, when I watched it back 3 or 4 times, but it looks like the foul is from Steve Yago pushing Gusullo
onto the goalkeeper.
Into Van Alves, right? And I keep thinking back to, if Aris were asking for a free kick there, what about when they decided to crowd over Antosh and they wouldn't let him get to the ball, and they scored the equaliser against Nas Salamina because of it?
Yep.
Nobody said anything there either. But yeah.
Well, no.
Well, we did. We said something. Yeah. Now, in the confusion that occurred after the goal, Anastasio got the Omonoia head coach Anastasio got shown a red card, and the commentary stated that it was because he was trying to get the referee to look at the tablet that the Omonoia bench has to look at things happening during the game, and for him to come and have a look and see that there's nothing going on.
Vision.
Yeah.
Go back 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Go back 30 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much. And he got given a red card for that. Now, obviously, Aris are 2-1 down, so they're trying to spaff everybody forward to try and get a goal back. In the meantime, Omonoia are trying to make substitutions, but it's taking so long to get the substitutions done because Anastasio is sat somewhere in the ground behind the bench, and he's yelling instructions at Steve Rutter, and Steve Rutter is then having to tell the Delevando what Anastasio has said, and then he's then making the substitutions. So
but he needs to tell the girl that does the things as well.
Yeah,
there's 4 people involved. 4.
Yeah, and and then whoever's doing that as well has to then tell the 4th official what's
the 4th official has to do it on the board.
Yeah. So yeah, absolute mess. It took he wanted to make subs very quickly. It took him 5 minutes. It took him 5 minutes to get fresh legs on. But yeah,
it just sums up on Omonioia's season. Like, really, it just sums it all up. Just a clown show, really. Honestly,
listen.
Couldn't arrange a fucking piss up in a brewery.
Lefkosia is full of clowns at the moment. So
an orgy in a brothel.
Just leave. Yeah. Yes.
But look, there was a lot of news coming out of both sides today.
Correct.
A lot of news. So we'll start with Ari.
Yes.
And a bombshell number 1, Shpilevsky is out the door at the end of the season.
Correct. Yes. So, they announced this afternoon that Shpilevsky will be leaving Aris at the end of the season. Shpilevsky took over from Liasso's Lugar on February 28th, 2022. He's won the league with Aris in the 22-23 season, took him to the Europa League group stages in the 23-24 season, and he's got a Super Cup with him as well. 37-year-old Belarusian will be leaving after what would be 139 matches, including the 6 left in the playoffs. And so far, he has 71 wins, 31 draws, and 31 defeats with the team. So on top of the Brodaslimana Super Cup, he also has 2 4th-place finishes as well as a guaranteed top 4 finish this season as well. So yeah, because Aris can't be caught up by Abuel or Apollon, so they're going to finish in the top 4 at least. Up until the end of the season, he would have been the longest-serving current manager in the Brodaslimana, being at Aris for as long as he would have been. So as of today, Shpilevsky has been at Aris for 3 years, 1 month, and 14 days. The next one is Carcedo with 1 year, 9 months, and 9 days. And then Hugo Martins at Aradipo for 1 year, 5 months, and 25 days. Everybody else either started this summer or later.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Shpilevsky going is going to be a big hole to fill, I think, for Aris.
Yeah. Look, I'll be honest with you. From what I've been hearing for the last year or so, a lot of players. I say actually that won't be fair. A few players haven't been pleased with his antics. They haven't been pleased with how he's treated them. There's a lot of questionable things have happened at the club, but we can't ignore the fact that when they won the league, they were sensational. Absolutely sensational. However, it's a results-based industry. Last season, they didn't win anything. This season, not going to win anything. It's no surprise. It really isn't. When you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a surprise. So, but we can't really say he's going to be. Is he the 14th managerial casualty? Because he's leaving at the end of the season.
Yeah, correct.
So that like doesn't count as anything, or even for next season?
No, I wouldn't count him for either, to tell the truth. No. I mean, I see him walking into a Bundesliga 2 job. I think there was rumours of him doing that last summer as well, wasn't there?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he's going to have a lot of clubs interested in him.
Yeah,
the important thing for Aris as well is to obviously find a suitable replacement. And that suitable replacement is going to have a lot of pressure on.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Big boots to fill. Big boots.
Correct.
Way too big for your boots.
Yes.
Meanwhile,
before you go on to that as well, is like you sent me a WhatsApp message to say don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
And then 10 minutes later,
yeah. Do you know what? I get the feeling that they knew that it got out.
Yeah.
And they just went. I thought they were going to announce it at the end of the season, but they've just done it now. So whatever.
So
whatever.
Somebody must have got hold of it proper, and they were going to release it. So they wanted to get ahead of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So after all of that, not long after, right? Omonoia proceeded to destroy any relationship they have with supporters with one statement made by the press officer, Andrea Dimitriou, again, surname. Now, just to be clear, I don't think that these are the words of Andreas. Yes, he said them, but I don't think these are things that he wrote down himself. I think the people at the top said, this is what you need to say publicly. Now, just to give you guys a bit of perspective, on the 4th of this month, a website called Omonoia 24 published an article about the club, how this season has panned out, basically saying that some people are inept. The club is run like an amateur outfit. Things that most fans have been saying all season. Okay? Now, just to give you guys some perspective, Omonoia 24 is one of, if not the biggest Omonoia fan news outlets. Right? They've got about 27,000 followers on Facebook. Their click-through rate is probably better than the clubs, and they do publish a lot of good information on the club regularly. We're talking 4 or 5 posts a day, if not more. Now, as I said, this happened on the 4th of April. Fast forward to today, and our friend Andrea Dimitriou went on Sport FM 95.0, and he was talking about the build-up to the Upper World game and other things like, these press officers do every week. They appear on the radio and they talk about various things. But he ended it with a statement on this particular situation with the fan website. And he said, we fully respect the work of the journalists and accept that criticism is expressed fairly and with respect. Objective, impartial, and free journalism, and especially investigative journalism, has a lot to offer to Cypriot football in our society. There is currently an issue with the website Omonoia 24 as it attempts to turn people's disappointment into clicks, and to achieve this goal, it systematically attacks Omonoia, its executives and players. Sorry, I missed that comma there. With publications that even insult their dignity, character, and personality. He has long since gone beyond the limits of criticism as he slanders, targets, and insults without inhibitions. This is about the writer. Now, for a long time, the team has been patient and silent. However, because these attacks are increasing in frequency and intensity, the time has come for the team to speak out. Omonia's only weapon in this unprecedented situation is to inform its fans about the whole scene so they are fully aware of it, which is why they are now discussing it publicly. For the time being, at least, we will not expand further. Even though, see, this is the thing. They didn't talk about the article itself. They did want to expand further. They didn't want to explain what article they're discussing. Fortunately, we know. We know. So, yeah, he's basically saying that we accept criticism, even if it's severe. And sometimes it helps them when it's expressed fairly with respect. And it's one of their basic principles because they want to protect and encourage objective, impartial, and free journalism. Now, let me get this one straight, Thasso, because I'm sick to death of what this club has turned into. It's turned into North Korea, first of all. Okay? And I will go back to what I have been saying for the longest of times. The club does not need websites, supporters, podcasts, etc., to damage their reputation. Because quite frankly, they've been doing it all by themselves for a very long time. Now, I'll let you have your say on this before I continue with this particular katastasi.
Yeah, I mean, in particular this season, the club seems to have been spiraling a little bit with regards to statements and press and going after who, what, why, where, and when, and that kind of thing. Especially considering that Omonoia Gostesera as well, Omonoia 24, where one, it's a fan-owned media entity. Yeah, it's all about Omonoia, and it's 24. So yeah, that's the first thing. So they are only looking out for the well-being of the club because they need their supporters. The second thing is, over a long period of the life of Omonoia 24, they have been incredibly supportive, I think, of the regime up until 2-3 weeks ago. Yeah, and then there's been,
so 7 years of support.
Yeah,
7 years of support, and
so,
they've forgotten all of that. They've forgotten all of that, and they've just gone on to this one. Okay.
Yeah, which is a bit of a stupid thing in the first place. The second thing is, it's a fan-owned media company. Yeah, I guess you could call it a company, right?
Entity.
It's fan-owned, regardless. It's fan-owned, so there's going to be biases. There's going to be, I mean, they're going to report on stuff happening at the club, but there's going to be biases. They'll like for you guys doing no chuff this after every game, for instance, you've got biases. People have got things to say. So it's weird that the club is going after fans in particular, right? Fans in particular, because it's not just Omonoia Omonoia 24 that are posted these, clickbait in inverted commas articles, right? If you go on Gergida or on Brodathlima or any other, right, they will write an article, whether it's positive or negative or whatever, and then they'll write it, and then 2 hours later they'll write another one, and all the other one says is, we talked about this thing, click the link here to look at the thing we talked about. And then again, by the way, here's an update on this thing we talked about 4 hours ago. Click the original article to see what we talked about in the first place. Yeah. And websites like Gergida, when you go on them, you have to click past 4 or 5 different adverts to actually get to the thing that they want you to look at in the first place, right?
Oh yeah.
So instead of going after the official inverted commas reporters and things like that, they go after the fan base one, because that's easy pickings. You can go after that one.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And that's exactly it. Omonoia 24 is an easy target for various reasons. But the main reason is, and I know this for a fact because you can smell bullshit. They've gone after them because they're thinking, well, if we go after them, who are the biggest, then the smaller ones are going to think twice before saying anything about the club. No.
Didn't work out, did it?
No. Oh, no. Because so Omonoia 24's credit, they quickly responded and they defended their right to critique, and obviously they reiterated their long-term support for the club, and they denied any personal agenda, and saying that the criticism stems from, I don't know, concerns more than anything malicious. But then they did something very smart. They actually questioned the, how shall we say, the timing of their statement, given Abuel's just round the corner. But here's where it gets even more interesting, or should I say hilarious. There is a fan group called the Green Uprising, and they issued what can only be described as jaw-dropping or explosive, a statement which basically condemned what it described as a toxic leadership culture. Now, they singled out Grigori, who's the vice president, and they basically said, he's operating with, I don't know, unchecked influence, and he treats Omonoia like his personal business. They allege that there's favoritism. I didn't say Alexa, I said alleged. Oh, for fuck's sake, let me mute myself.
That's amazing. Beautiful. She's still going. Oh wow, she's still going. Okay, all right. So yes.
Anyway, as I was saying, for crying out loud. So I don't want to use that A word now. They what's the word? ALLEGED. I can't think of any synonyms for alleged. Yeah. So they use that word, that he operates an unchecked influence, and he treats Omonoia, unchecked influence, and he treats Omonoia like his personal business, and other things such as favoritism in player management, financial conflicts of interest. They even claim that he owns a car rental company, and the foreign players, are basically paying Monaco rates to hire the car. And they absolutely destroyed him. They absolutely battered him left, right, and center. And to be honest with Thasso, I think that this is the point of no return. I don't know what this club can do to repair the damage that they've caused. Because here's the thing that people might not understand, that okay, people watching abroad, especially in the UK, won't fathom this, but fans have a lot of influence in Cyprus, And it's not just Cyprus, it's France, it's Germany. But the cardinal sin is to go against the supporters as a club. It's to go against the supporters. Now they've done that, and not just any supporters. They haven't gone for, you know, one or two people on Facebook and said, oh, you know, that's out of order. They've gone for probably the biggest fan platform.
Yep.
If we lose against you lot at the weekend, oh boy.
Yep. I'm expecting. I'm expecting things to get a bit spicy, because here's the thing, right? With the timing of the announcement as well, they made sure it was after a win, didn't they?
Yep.
So they waited for the win to come out before they could bring that statement out to be like, well, you guys, not fair, you know.
But that's what they've been doing this for how long now? For how long have they been doing this? And what makes it even worse is, forget the results. Let's put them to one side, because I know the results are important. Let's put them to one side. And let's just go with, let's say from August. You got Dambraskas coming in. They sack him in November. Yannick comes in as the interim head coach. Every time the club is asked about a head coach, they're like, well, we'll just tell you when something happens. We'll make an announcement. In the meantime, you had the debacle with Poland. You had the debacle with referees. You had the debacle with Nicolau, debacle with Grigori going to the CFA, then wanting him to be the vice president, but then the guy at Buffalo getting it.
Yeah.
It's constant nonsense, which was avoidable. The transfer window, when you get rid of 3 players and you replace them with 2 players, and one of them has hardly kicked the ball because he's always been injured. Selling Gagulli, okay, fine. That needed to happen. But the way that they've been treating Humber is incredible.
Yep.
It's just one thing after the other. And yet they've been ramming the 11,500 season tickets down people's throats, thinking that that is some kind of miraculous achievement, when in actual fact, prior to that statement from Andrea, I was saying, if you don't get your house in order, not many people are going to renew next season. Now that could be a massive turning point, not just for the rest of the season, but for the club's future, for Papastavrou's future. Because I think it's him or his best mate telling Andrea to say these things, that is pressing that self-destruct button like frequently. Yep.
It could be. Listen, there's a lot of clubs that are going to be looking at this summer, kind of looking over their shoulder and going, oh shit. And you wouldn't expect Omonoia to be one, but they're turning into one at the moment.
Oh yes. Yes. But there's also another thing that came out. It was from a Facebook page, and do you wanna do that?
Hold on, right? So this is an account. This is an account called
The Green Butcher.
Yeah. Okay. Because I've not read this before, right? So I'll read it in the Cypriot that it's written in first, yeah? So, to odi isaste dili, je fovaste, je epikrinete, tin paramikrin kritikin, ignorisamenто edo kekero. So the fact that you guys are
cowards.
Cowards, and you're scared, and you criticize. You interrogate.
Interrogate the critics.
The smallest critique. We've known this for a long time now. Το ότι είσαστε και χιδαίοι όμως, τώρα μας το αποδεικνύεται. So how do you translate χιδαίοι?
I wasn't sure. Google translated it, and they said vulgar.
No, it's not vulgar. Somebody's got to help us here. Mario or
Yeah,
somebody has to help us a little bit
yeah,
here. But
yeah,
yeah, the fact that you are something else, though, you're now showing it to us.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
Triu, aman ești problema με domnia gostesera, που πολλές φορές δικαιολόγησε παραπάνω από όσο θα έπρεπε του την
yeah,
διοίκηση. So, Dimitriu, if you've got a problem with Omonia 24, who has already made excuses for this
yeah. On your behalf.
for this ownership so many times over and above what they should have. Am δεις τι λαλούμε μέσα στα κλειστά groups για σένα, να θέλεις να μεταναστεύσεις άκρη. If you found out what we're saying to you, saying about you in the closed groups on Facebook, you're going to want to freedom fight, right? Μεταναστεύσεις.
Yeah, yeah. I think something like emigrate or leave the country or something like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, chaos is often problematic. There you are. Amazing. So, look, again, I don't know your stance on this because I've never seen Abuel do that to its fans. I've never seen other clubs absolutely rip into supporters, especially in that manner.
yeah. So
Is it the point of no return with these lot now?
it's not. I mean, the amount of fans it's gone after is the new thing, but they've always gone after critical fans. There was was it 7 of them that got banned from the stadium
Yeah.
for saying negative things to
Amasabu's face, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so they got
The
banned.
Most High. You don't talk about the Most High like that. No, 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 no.
Yeah, so
The Creator, the Savior.
So the thing that's new is the amount of fans they've gone after by posting about this kind of stuff. What I will say about Abuel is it's the opposite direction, but to the detriment of the club. For instance, there's the one time in particular that I think about is with the guys who there was only 50 fans allowed to a game, 50 away fans, and then you had those guys doing Nazi salutes, and not a peep from the club about it, like not to say that's not on or nothing like that. No, they just so that's the other way for me. You should be critical about those things, but to be critical about a fan being critical is stupid. It's stupid, right? If you're so high and mighty and not caring about, well, I don't want to say not caring about what the fans say, but and to make sure you don't rile up the fans, you don't respond to the fans in such a way, do you? You don't respond to them like that.
Well, this is it. And again, it's tone deaf.
Yep.
Once again.
Yep.
It's distasteful once
Correct.
again.
Correct.
It's disrespectful once again. So they've tried the smoke and mirrors. They've tried the delaying tactic. They've tried the patronization or patronizing.
Yep.
And now they've just gone all out.
Yep.
So I deep down hope they go out no choftes. Because if and when they do,
I've got, what I've just been reminded of? There's the episode of The Simpsons where Bart and some of the kids, they turn into a boy band, that Ivanette Miage.
I haven't seen that one.
No, or where they become a boy band and they do like subliminal messaging for joining the navy.
All right.
Yeah, and then the guys are explaining. Yeah, we do subliminal, we do liminal, and we do superliminal. And Lisa goes, "Superliminal, what's that?" And the guy just
Yeah.
opens. The guy just opens the window and goes, "Hey, you, join the navy." And then the
Yeah.
guy is yelling at goes, "Oh, okay then." Basically, they've run out of every other idea, and they're just going, "No, shut up. That's it."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Imagine if Arsenal came out to what's it, AFTV and said, "Nah, shut up, mate." Imagine what would happen there.
Oh God. Oh God.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Anyway, let's move on. Let's
yes,
move on.
yeah.
And on to the final game of our review, and another surprise. Upwell beat Buffer by a goal to nil. El Arabi scored from the penalty spot. I think he tried the Panenka and he kind of fluffed his lines a little bit. He did like the Botiak penalty when he was in the A-League. But hey, a win is a win for Upwell. I didn't watch the game. You can explain everything, Tasso.
Yeah, I mean, the first half was boring affair. There was 3 or 4 set pieces for each team, but yeah, there was not a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot more stuff happened in the second half. But yeah, uh, penalty, goal. I'd say biased opinion here. Well deserved win. It is more to do with, I think, Bath, or I don't know. There was a lethargy to how Baffle were playing. The press wasn't really happening that they normally have. The kind of the forward play was sloppy, sluggish. But yeah, um, listen, I've got to give flowers as well to where I don't normally give flowers. As soon as Petrovic was announced in the first 11, I actually put on Twitter that Petrovic is starting, dance party time, and I put a gif of somebody crying while they were dancing. And he proved me wrong. He did a pretty good job. Although, Anderson was profligate. There you go, got a nice word for you
Very
there,
good. Very good.
Mario.
Very good. Very
Profligate.
good.
And yeah, we had more chances to win the game as well. And Bilea had a nightmare. He came on because of an injury, and then he conceded the penalty. There was no need for him to elbow the ball away the way that he did. It's only a penalty. You can't say it's not a penalty. But yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we got the win. Got a win, clean sheet. No negatives from me. No negatives for the game.
Okay, well, I think you've covered that.
Hmm.
But when you say no negatives
For the game.
for the game, yeah.
Okay.
But let's go with the negatives.
Hey,
Shoot.
there it is. There it is. There it fucking is. So yes, following weeks and weeks and weeks of rumors, confirmations, discussions, statements, meetings, we finally had a conclusion to who was going to take control of Apoel. And it turns out absolutely no one is going to take control of Apoel because Petridis has still got his sticky, clawy fingers in the club, and his fingers are like syringes, and he's just sucking the life out of it like some kind of weird fucking Dracula. Anyway, yeah. So Petridis is staying in charge of the club for the time being because the 8, in inverted commas, who had an offer to buy the club, basically ended up releasing a statement after the current board of directors did not respond to the offer on the table from them. In essence, So in essence, in the statement, the 8, without mentioning Petridis by name, I don't think they mentioned him by name, basically threw him under the bus in front of everybody because They blamed this no deal on the fact that the existing board of directors wanted them to sign non-disclosure agreements, when in fact it's normally the other way around. It's the buyers who normally ask for non-disclosure agreements to be signed, which means that they were going to get shown things that they shouldn't talk about. So that's the first thing. Now, not only that, they said in their statement, wanted to stay on the board with these 8 people, and that certain people were also asking for what was it? Protections from any blame regarding the situation the club finds itself in, right?
Oh boy.
So in essence, that was a lot of what were the reasons why the offer was taken off the table. Now, the offer that they gave as well included for enough financing to pay off the debts, which are the problem in particular at the moment. So that's the social security contributions and the tax bill that they need to pay off sharpish. So that would have included the financing for that. So they would have done it. However, they said what they would have done going forward is they would have reduced the budget for the team and try to kind of find ways of increasing the value of the players that were already there. So there would have been, I think there would have been a pretty big sell-off, and then concentrating more on bringing in younger players who don't necessarily require upfront payments before they even kick a football, for instance. And those players only scoring penalties throughout the season. Anyway, so yeah, they said all this, and the stuff that worries me is that if that's the stuff they were comfortable bringing out, what did they see that they didn't want to talk about? Which is especially worrying. So that's the first thing. Now, obviously, this statement came out. Offer's been rejected. Nothing from the club for the last 3-4 weeks, other than, we got one of these 8 people joined the board of directors already for transitions and whatever. That's the only thing they mentioned until a couple of days ago or earlier. I can't remember if it was before or after the Buffalo game. But anyway, the current Apoel board came out with an announcement after the fact that said, "We will hold a press conference." We had a press conference? I haven't seen a press conference. Have you seen a press conference?
Maybe it's going to be held at a secret location in a South American country.
Well, so here we go. Now, I won't say according. So, Petridis has gone on a fact-finding mission to Brazil, where he's apparently going to be looking for investors. Yes, inverted commas, investors, other types of people who would be willing to put money into the club in Brazil. As you know, Brazil is a very affluent place. And there's no problems whatsoever in going to Brazil and asking people in Brazil for money. Anyway, so Petridis packed his bags. There's images of him going through, I think it's the Larnaga airport, and he's flying to Brazil to, obviously, because it's coming up to winter, it's autumn in Brazil right now, so obviously he's not going to go sit at the beach and pretend he's not alive when his phone rings, and just have a good time, and just he's basically treating Brazil like the Winchester in Shaun of the Dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to the Winchester, wait for it all to blow over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable. His
Well,
club is falling apart, and he's decided to get a flight to Brazil. Who's paying for his flight and his accommodation in Brazil while he's on this fact-finding mission?
maybe it's the person that he's allegedly on the run from.
No. Well, yeah. See, that's the other thing is, according to the Gafene, the chat of the Gafene, is that one of the people that the club in particular is owing a
Indebted
lot of
to.
money to is somebody you do not want to owe money to in an Eastern European country. And that man is now calling in the debt that is owed.
From prison, by the way.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Prison. Allegedly. Is it the person that I that I queried
Look,
you about?
I'm just connecting the dots here, okay? And there's loads of dots. There's loads of dots.
There are lots of dots. Yeah, so I basically like there's a name, and if you know where to look, you might also find the same name that I did.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so now.
Can you imagine if he's got a new identity?
Oh, you think he's going to come back to Gibro called the Rhubarb Man or something?
The Rhubarb Man.
Yeah. Or I don't know. Instead of Prothomos Petridis, he's going to come back and his name's going to be called Yannis Rotsos.
Maybe. Or maybe it might be Maniton.
Petrino.
Manitarinho. Sorry.
Out of my club.
Think about it. It's like when the Brazilians put Inho at the end, it's making something small.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like with Super Mario. When he eats the mushroom, he gets bigger. When he gets hit by a shell, he gets smaller.
Yeah, when he gets hit by a shell.
A shell.
Anyway, yeah. So, samba.
What's going to happen to Bedevino? What's going to happen to him?
I don't know about you, but I don't think he's been doing his job for the last 3 weeks anyway. You've not heard a peep from him.
No. He's been at home taking Portuguese Brazilian lessons. That's what he's been doing with Duolingo. And in the background, he's got YouTube on with "Ai, seu chipego, ai."
No, because he's not even doing the press conferences anymore because the coach is Greek. Why doesn't need to be at press conferences anymore?
Exactly.
So, where is he?
Listen, maybe he's taken voluntary redundancy.
Maybe.
Or temporary redundancy.
Maybe. Or he's also gone to Brazil as well.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
They've gone together hand in hand. Imagine those two walking down the Copacabana holding hands. Both of them wearing dangas, yeah?
Oh my God. Oh my God. No. I'm not gonna. No. I'm not even gonna try and visualize it.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Because when you see something, you can never unsee it.
Correct.
And when you visualize something, you can never unvisualize it. So no. No Pedridi in a mankini. No. No. Good job they didn't flee to Thailand, because that would be a completely different fucking joke.
Listen, if it's in 2 years' time when they've pissed off some Brazilian gangster. They'll have to go to Thailand for the next one, yeah?
Well, if they go to Thailand, they might see Ketspy there because he's looking for balls.
Ah, ha, 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 ha. Yes. So there you go. This
Yes.
is the shit show my club has devolved into right
Yes,
now.
absolutely, absolutely is. Well, listen, who's got the biggest comedy club? I don't
Still
know.
got him notice, anyway. Yes.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Yes.
Anyway, let's go with the league table then. Let's
There it
go.
is. There it is.
Voila.
So Barfos are first with 71 points. Addis are in second with 65. Aek are in third with 60. Omonoia are in fourth with 56. Abuelo in
Ugh.
fifth with 47.
24 points.
And Abolon are in sixth with 45. So yeah. Are we expecting any changes in the in what that looks like right now?
Well, look, now that Shpilevsky has announced he is leaving, I would hope that the Ari players would go in with a stronger mentality and say, right, we're going to do it for him. We'll do it for him. Let's just give it another push because there's still plenty of games to go for the title race. They still need to play Buffalo away, I think.
Mm.
Yeah. Get 3 points there, and it's all to play for. All to play for. As for the rest of the positions, I listen, I can't see Omonoia finishing third. I can't.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Well,
I don't know. What about you?
I don't expect it to change, to tell you the truth. I expect it to look exactly like what it looks like now, just, some additional points here and there for clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Well, there's that.
Yeah.
So let's move on. There's one story which, sorry to lower the tone, and that involves former Omonoia goalkeeper. He was Alki Nea Salamina Ethnigo Agrida and Dingenis Oroglini, and that's Corin Brooks, the goalkeeper who passed away prematurely at the age of 37, suffered a heart attack last Saturday. Montserrat goalkeeper. Another shock to the system. That came literally out of the blue, and may he rest in peace.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yep. Speaking of an Alki, Tasso.
Oh yes. So yes. The so I put here. I put the title here as "Guess Who's Back? Back again."
And again.
He's back. But yeah. So I think we already talked about them coming back in the Agrodigo this season.
The chlamydia of Cyprus football.
Yep. yes. Yeah. The Immortals are the chlamydia of Cypriot football. Yes. Very good. Very good. Now, in essence, they're coming back, and it seems to be like, as permanent as this is going to be for Alki Larnagas, that they are going to have a sports center in Galochorio outside Aradipu.
Good field.
Good village.
Yeah, good village.
Good village. So this is the Galochorio in Larnaga, not the Galochorio in Lemeso. Because the Galochorio in Lemeso is about 15 minutes drive from my Ayaz, and this one's not. Now, the Cyprus Sports Organization has agreed with Alki. I think they call themselves Alki 1948 now. Which, so they've got an agreement between them and the Cyprus Sports Organization to build a training center in Galochorio. So both lot of them have basically put out a statement to say, yes, the sports center is coming. So this is the third iteration of Alki after they were Alki Larnagas from 1948 till I think 2013.
Okay.
And then after Alki Larnagas, fell apart. 2014, a fan of Algi Larnagas bought Digenis Oroglinis and changed it to Algi Oroglini. And then Algi Oroglinis got to the first division, but then went until 2023, February 2023, I think. And we reported on them basically not paying players for 7 months and then folding, and then asking the Cyprus FA to give special dispensation for those players to be able to sign for other teams outside of the transfer window, where the Cyprus FA just went, no. Okay. And then, so Algi Oroglin is folded, and now we're back with Algi 1948 Larnaga.
Look at this one. Algi are building a training center before Omonoia and Grand Theft Auto 6.
Correct. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Looks like it, doesn't it?
They were already back at the beginning of the season, and I reported on them, I think, smashing their first opponents like 13-0 or something like that. So yeah, I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe they will be in like the stock championship cup.
Yeah.
Where they get like the winners of the leagues and the cups in the small leagues, and they do like a knockout tournament. And from that knockout tournament, they figure out who gets promoted into the stock Epilepticus. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Happy days.
There you go. Happy days. Now, speaking of promotion, there is a promotion party for one particular club in the second division.
Yeah.
And that is Digenis Ipsona, or Freedom 24 Digenis Ipsona, any blah 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 FC Krasava. So yes, FC Krasava have been promoted to the first division following the results from this weekend, and we've also got Agridas, Floragas, and Olympiacos being close. They're 4 points away from AES, who are in fourth, and there's 2 games left. So they're 85% of the way there. However, the weekend's games that are coming up are Krasava versus AES and Olympiacos versus Agridas.
Yeah.
So there's still a bit of a story to say. I still think there's a couple of twists and turns left yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's interesting now because obviously with Jason Punchin at Agrida, we want him to do well. We want him to get promoted. Krasava is an interesting story. I don't know how they're going to cope next season. And then maybe Olympiacos, if they get promoted, a big club from Lefkosia back in the top division.
Yep.
Anything can happen, mate. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Okay.
Yep.
What are you going to do?
First division games at the Magarion again. Yeah, so lots of ACL injuries.
I think they're going to go to Razibi,
Do you?
I think they're going to go to
the last time they did, they fell out a third of the way through the season, then went back to the Magarion.
No, is it safe for the first division?
Is the Tyrios safe?
Well, yeah, true.
Teams are going to go there.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway.
Fair. Well, I don't know if you know, today, obviously, Barcelona won, Paris Saint-Germain won. Apparently, if a team that wins the Champions League has already qualified for next season's Champions League through their league, then whoever wins the Rathlima will start off in the second qualification thing because of the coefficient.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Okay, I didn't know that.
Apparently so, yeah. There you go. Happy days. Happy days. Well, that's it, really, apart from one more thing, which is the weekly roundup, I guess, or the weekly stuff that we always have to discuss.
Yes, we can do that.
Let's go.
It's time to spin the wheel. What is coming? We don't
He's back, ladies and gents.
There he is. He is back. Now, what I will say is it's a fairly quiet week this week for things in general from Vrionis. And, but there's still some stuff in here. So firstly, we're going to go to the Nea Salamina versus Garmiodissa game.
Okay.
There was a sending off the bench in that game for Nea Salamina staff member Petros Georgiou. So he was sent off for inadequate behavior off the bench. He ran towards the fourth official aggressively and cursed at him vulgarly. Right? Now, so what do you think his punishment is for this?
Vulgar language, running aggressively. 3-match ban and a fine.
So he's been fined.
Right.
And he's been banned from games until the 29th of September.
Isn't that almost as long as the lad that got sent off in the under-19s game for slapping the referee's hand or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also
August.
April, May, June, July, August, September. He's gone for longer than Sapinto did.
That's mad.
For punching. We punched.
That's
for
mad.
Strangling somebody after the game. 6 months. He's been given a 6-month ban. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, you remember I showed, we put up an image, I think it's not last week, it's the week before, of what the separation of the away fans are, specifically in Mappa Stadium, right? Remember the Harris fencing held up by the ticket tape. So, now, in the match between Beja and Spartakos Gidiou, there were intense arguments between fans that caused issues for 5 minutes from the 81st minute. Both teams were fined. You've also got the same thing happening between fans of Onisillos and Olympiacos in the 82nd minute. And you've got a game between Othellos Atienu and Halkanoras Idaliou, right? And Othellos have been fined because in the 87th minute of their match, the fans were gesturing towards the visiting fans, and this is my favorite bit, and shook the dividing rails, causing a disturbance. They grabbed that Harris fencing and were like, "Ah!"
Like the Ultimate Warrior shaking the ropes. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, man. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. The second division is ape shit. And imagine two Omonoia, two Furious who are going to be there next season at the Dimitris Hamatsos. So are we going to see that clown mask again?
Oh, mate, listen, these guys have waited a year to start going back to games. It's going to be special.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's going to be so special.
I tell you what's going to happen. They're all going to come out dressed in Salvador Dali masks and red jumpsuits.
Well, listen, it better not be the YMCA. I'm just saying. That would be weird. Young man.
Man, no. I think that'll be more the actual Omonoia's fans. After the dildo in particular.
Oh yes.
But yeah.
And still, they didn't get fined for it.
That's right. Dildo. So for everybody else listening to this, dildos are allowed in the stadiums.
Yes, inflatable ones.
Yep.
That are double the size of a human.
Yep, balloon dildos are allowed in the stadiums, no problem.
It's like when fans throw balloons or beach balls onto the pitch. You just get fans to get those on, really.
No, they can't throw it onto the pitch because then that is a fine.
Yeah.
You can fill the stadium full of inflatable balloon dildos. Just don't throw them on the pitch.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Bended.
It's time to spin the wheel.
There we go. We're done. Another episode. Huh?
GK. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful business.
Oh, God almighty. Flipping hell. See, this is why sometimes I wish the Cypriot football fans had the British football fans mentality, because that would be absolutely hysterical. I didn't see anyone putting videos about that on social media.
Correct.
No one. But out here, it would have been absolutely bloody hilarious.
Yep.
Hilarious. They made a joke about it and everything. But anyway. Right. That's it for another episode, isn't it? That's all. That's it. We're done.
That's it.
We're done. Don't forget to give us a follow on Instagram and X at This Is Mappa. Thasso is at Flares Cafes. We will be back next week, where we'll be reviewing the Eternal Derby. And then there's one more show before the Easter break where we can take a chill pill, relax a little bit, have your flaunes, do all that good stuff. And that's it. So until next time, boys and girls, bye.
Good day.